Oh, it's so cold outside. I don't even want to go out the door this time to show you the view. You've already seen it once today anyway. Okay, so, yeah, like I said, one of you guys asked me a question on email, and you sent it to me on email, not as a post, so I'm going to assume that you'd like to stay anonymous. So I won't say who sent me the question, but I'm a little bit afraid of this question because it's kind of a hard thing to tap into for me. But the question was how I've mentioned the term loving self a couple of times in past vlogs, and this person wanted to know how I got to loving self and from not loving self. And it's a hard thing to sort of go back and really pinpoint. I will start by saying I firmly believe that, see, I'm feeling all emotional now that I'm talking about this, kind of weird. I hope I still want to post this after I've said all I want to say. But I'll preface this whole thing by saying I firmly believe that exercising and loving self go hand in hand, and one causes the other. One causes the other, not one causes one. They go back and forth between each other. If you work out a lot, self-love comes, and if you love self, you'll work out a lot. I don't know, for me anyway. Yeah, I've gone through some tough times in my brain in my life. Most of them really self-imposed. You know, I let life get me down, general ridiculous things that happen in life. You guys want a little bit of history about me. I spent a really lengthy amount of time waiting for my own government to allow the person I felt I was in love with at the time into the country to live legally and work. I met him when I was out of the country working briefly. We had a little fling, and it kind of turned into a more complicated big thing, and we both had really strong feelings for each other. So we decided he was going to immigrate here because between the two countries, his has got some trouble, and decided that he would come here. So we started the process of trying to get him immigrated in, and the red tape and the process itself and some things that went wrong. It took 5 years. And in those 5 years, I kind of lost track of myself a little bit. And I really let circumstance get me down and control whether or not I had happiness in my life. I firmly believed that I couldn't have happiness without this person in my life, which I'm now learning that's not true. Who needs him? But the end of the story, I mean, the short version of the story is that eventually he did get in, and within 9 months we were over, because we were not the same people that we were when we started the process. Thank you, Canadian government, for taking that long, as well as we may never have been the people we actually thought we were in the beginning anyway. We had a lot of pretty significant differences, and once we got out of holiday mode and into each other's faces for real, day-to-day life, the stresses of day-to-day life, it wasn't meant to be. It really wasn't. We've been apart for a long time now. It's been years. But, you know, in the middle of losing self and being depressed about life, you know, another thing that I slipped up on was I leaned on the wrong thing for support. And the thing I leaned on, and this is going to sound like some kind of admission of disease, but I don't think that it is. I leaned on alcohol. And when I say this is going to sound like admission, I don't want you guys to all of a sudden jump to the conclusion that I have been or am an alcoholic. I don't believe that I am. As you saw, I went out and ripped it up the other night, and that was the first time in a week, and the first time a week ago in like 3 weeks that I'd done that. So it's not like I drink a lot now, but I drank a lot then. And I kind of let it control me, because it's a really vicious cycle. If you drink enough, the next day you're kind of hungover and you don't want to work out, right? So you spend the next day recovering. Then the next day you feel good, but now you feel good, so let's have a few drinks. So I actually went through a cycle of like every second day having a hangover and every second day drinking. So I didn't work out at all. Gained a lot of weight, and really kind of learned to really sort of hate myself. Alcohol does other things to you besides the physical. I got to a point where the only way I could describe it was, you know, in the Monty Python cartoons where the guy's head opens up on a hinge and someone sticks an egg beater inside it, turns it on. That's what it felt like inside my head sometimes. I was so beaten up inside about what was going on in my life. It just felt like someone had opened up my head and put an egg beater in there and turned it on, and I was always scrambled. And the only thing that could make that feeling go away was alcohol. It numbed me. It was great. You didn't have to feel. And I can totally see how alcoholics become alcoholics because, yeah, it's a great way to avoid feeling. Unfortunately, the very next day, you feel it twice as worse. So what do? You drink more. It's a huge cycle. Anyway, so I don't want to digress too far into that. Nobody who drinks a lot, in my opinion, can ever get truly fit. It's not very good stuff for you. It's great for a little occasional treat. Go out and rip it up on the dance floor and have some fun with your friends, like I did the other night. But I sure as heck do not live in that bottle anymore. It's a terrible place to be. So anyway, I didn't love myself at the time. I gained a whole bunch of weight. I think my heaviest, I was 150 pounds. I actually had to go and buy special pants for the holiday season of several years ago because I had tried on every single pair of my black pants and every single one of them in increasing sizes were too big for me. So I actually had to go out, and it was a depressing shopping trip because everywhere I went, nothing fit me because all the sizes seem to be getting smaller and smaller and smaller these days. So I finally wound up finding a pair in one store, and I remember gushing to the girl about how I never thought I was going to find a pair of pants to fit me, and I'm so glad I found these pants to fit me, and blah, blah, blah. But when I got home, and I'm like, God, these are a really big size. How depressing is this? So I think I just got fed up. That Christmas, I got fed up. I had another friend told me that she wanted to get in shape, and she was going to start doing a lot of power walking, and that's really all she ever really does. She's still my friend even to this day, and we still do power walk together quite a bit. But when I told you I don't have any circle of support, it's true. Except for the power walking, we don't like, she doesn't run, she doesn't do anything intense like I do. She doesn't lift weights or do intense stuff. She does some Pilates, which I actually kind of poo-poo a little bit. Don't get me started. I'll talk about that some other day. But anyway, so we started power walking, and the weight started dripping off me a little bit. And the more we power walked, the more we talked while we power walked, the more I started feeling things for myself again. And this guy still wasn't in the country yet. But I started to learn about, just inside me, by analyzing myself, about giving a shit about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, all this stuff can be going on around you, but it's all about what's inside. And you have to decide to love yourself, I think. And I think a lot of working out too, those endorphins, what they say about endorphins is true. You get those in your head enough times, and you're going to get addicted to them, and they do make you feel good. They make you feel good about yourself. They make you feel excited about life, even when nothing exciting's happening. Sometimes I could finish my run, and I'm like, yeah, what am I doing next? Going home to work. But I'm excited. I don't know why. You know, I get all revved up. So I've over the past few years, and since we broke up, and I've been kind of more or less on my own. I've had a few dates here and there, but nothing really nothing really big or complicated. I've really learned to sort of just look inside for my happiness, you know, and look at what I like to do, because what I like to do is what makes me happy. And even though crap can be going on around me, I'm not working right now, I'm between projects, it's been a while, I'm getting a little freaked out, I still have fun every day doing stuff and thinking inside my head. I have fun inside my head. And Kelly knows this, because I've been moaning to her about this guy that recently I sort of started dating, and then he just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth for no reason, right in the middle of us just getting to know each other. And it's making me a little crazy, because it's really hard to understand what went wrong, because he asked me on a date, and then he didn't follow up. And it was like, what? We hadn't even spoken. What the heck could have changed? But you know what? Yeah, I'm confused and mixed up by this guy, but I'm not suddenly unhappy because this guy. It's not about guys anymore in my head. It's or external factors. It's about what's inside my brain. So I don't know if any of this has been any help, but I just think that self-love, love of self, is something you really have to, you have to be focused on, you have to work on it, but don't be obsessed by it, because you can make yourself more miserable by analyzing the heck out of it. Just go do what you like to do, pursue what interests you, what makes you smile, and have patience through the hard times, because know that they will come. There will always be a hard time in life that makes you just like, oh, that's it, you know. I mean, I'm at a point now where if I feel like really dragged out, I know I'm going to have this day that I'm really dragged out, but I still work out. And at the end of the workout, I do feel better, even though it was hard to get my butt out there. You know, I feel like I'm dragging my tail down to the seawall to do whatever I do. Once I'm finished, I do feel a lot better. Yeah, the problem still exists, but that's life too, right? So you have to just get through it and stick to your goals and stick to your plans and stick to the things you promised yourself you'd do, and be proud of yourself for doing that, sticking with it through the thick and the thin. So anyway, I hope that helped. I don't know. I mean, if not, please reiterate your question and I'll try and answer it better. And for you guys, I know I offered to answer questions if you guys wanted to post questions on my vlog, but it now has come to my attention that some of those questions might be questions you want to ask anonymously, and if that's the case, then go ahead and email them to me. I'll add my email address to the top of my vlog. I thought it was apparent. I thought the email address was there all the time, but maybe not. I can see it. Maybe you guys can't see it because I'm the owner of the vlog, but I'll add it. And if you want to send me questions on my email, I promise I'll always answer everything, whether I email you back or if I answer it on a vlog like this, or if I answered on a return comment underneath my vlog. So always check back if you've asked me a question in the comment section. Check back there, because I might answer you there. But I'll always answer. So feel free to ask me anything. And if I don't have an answer that I think is in my area of knowledge, I'll say so. I don't want to give you guys any false information just because I'm making stuff up as I go along. I don't want to do that. So anyway, I think that's probably a pretty long vlog. I feel like I need to suffix it in some way, end it in some kind of way, but I don't really have a way to end it. So I'm just going to sign off and wish you guys a happy Sunday. And it's a whole new week next week, full of exciting opportunities and surprises, I hope. And we'll talk to you then. Take care. Bye.